What is up, you guys? Alex Tyler Meyers here, and today, if you haven't already guessed it, because I'm hella behind on this trend, regardless, I'm going to be doing a draw my life. And I know you're probably thinking, you don't even have 100 subscribers. And I'm doing it anyway. Fight me. Just kidding. Let's start from the beginning. I, Alex Tyler Meyers, was born on March 7, 1995 in Quincy, Illinois to a family of 4. My mom, my dad, my older brother Adam, and my older sister Ashley. I was just a normal kid. I loved sports, my family, and movies. In fact, when I was about 5 years old, I watched the movie Titanic for the first time and became obsessed with 2 things: Leonardo DiCaprio and acting. I'd never shut up about how much I wanted to be in movies. We bounced around from place to place, but never anywhere too far. That is, until my mom and dad got divorced, and we moved further away than we ever had before to a small town called Murrayville. But I loved Murrayville. I loved how I could just ride my little electric dirt bike around and act like a badass. I still loved my sports, basketball, baseball, and I even started skateboarding a little bit, but we'll get more into that later. I even loved school and my teachers for the first time. And even though I didn't have very many friends, I had my cousins JR and Damien who I lived with. But all good things have got to come to an end. We packed up our things and moved to another small but slightly bigger town called Jacksonville. I have the best mom in the whole wide world, and she has always done her best to give us everything that we deserved. But without my dad, money was tight. We lived in a crappy house in a bad part of town. When 6th grade came around, I didn't have any real friends. My teachers were honestly pretty mean to me. And even though I was still playing basketball, I felt like I was on the team by myself because none of my teammates or even my coach really liked me. However, despite how much it seemed like she didn't like me, my teacher, Mrs. Smith, who was also supposedly an actress as well, she may have sculpted part of my future. Reason being that for English class, she gave us the assignment of writing our very own short story about anything we wanted to write about. I fucking loved this. I wrote a story about a boxer, which is pretty ironic if you've seen my 5 Things About Me video. The story was about a boxer being trained by his older brother, which was very near and dear to my heart because my older brother Adam didn't live with us and I always missed him. But I still had my skateboard. By the time 7th grade came around, I had quit all sports and focused on becoming a professional skateboarder just like Ryan Sheckler. Since I was now in junior high, I started making real friends, 2 in particular, Hani and Jordan, who are still my friends to this day. Then by the time high school came around, we finally got a skate park built in Jacksonville after being on the committee for 2 years and the city just constantly rejecting us. This skate park became my second home for almost a decade. And then I met a guy named Brad. Brad was an amazing skateboarder and an amazing friend. He did things for me that people in my family wouldn't even do. He was super funny too. I spent a lot of my skateboarding days with Brad. But we will come back to that. High school was pretty normal. I got in a few fights, I had a few girlfriends, and that's about it. After I graduated, I didn't really do anything that was going to bring me success in the future. Then I remembered how much I used to be obsessed with acting. By this time, I had a nephew named Isaiah, and a niece named Isabella, and a couple years later, another niece named Italia, who I wanted to give the world to. So, I quit college and went to Los Angeles, California for 2 weeks and took my first acting class at the Groundlings. I've wanted to go to California since I was just 4 or 5 years old, and I finally did it. If I could go back to any particular time in my life, it would be those 2 weeks. But things never really picked up. And to make everything worse, in October of 2016, my friend Brad lost his life. Stop. Losing Brad affected me like I've never been affected before. Growing up, I always knew that I'd lose people. I always knew that despite how much I loved them, eventually everyone does pass on. But I've never dealt with an unexpected death before. And this loss would be the biggest roadblock that I've ever hit before. I miss Brad a lot. And I didn't get to say goodbye to him. Skateboarding just wasn't fun for me after Brad was gone. I didn't have the drive to get better at it anymore. I just didn't love it like I used to. So I had an idea. And it would be the perfect way to say goodbye to the sport that I loved so much and a friend that meant so much to me. And hashtag Goodbye Skateboarding was born. Fast forward a few years later to when I met a very important girl. Probably the most important girl in my life. We connected in a way that I've never connected with anyone before. We really understood each other, and I am so lucky for that because after 8 months of being together, we were told we were going to be having a baby. I panicked at first, and I felt every wrong decision that I've made in the past pile on top of my shoulders because I felt like failure was almost inevitable. But I knew that I couldn't give up because my son would be proud of me no matter what. But I wanted to succeed for him. So I picked up my camera and I made my first real YouTube video. Today, I am an actor, a writer, a boxer, a YouTuber, an uncle, a son, a brother, a friend, and most importantly, a dad. So, that's my life in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, give this video a huge thumbs up, and let me know your story and how bad you think my drawing skills are in the comments section down below. I will see you guys next time. Peace.
You don't like me, that's established. Keyboard warrior, ugly ass catfish. You can never act this out here, living that lavish life. You should be embarrassed, guys. Cash in the vault, so it's safe to say your boy stay dry on the rainy days. Royal flow, put me center stage. Walter White, bitches say my name. Coming at me, you need stamina. This ain't for amateurs, waiting for hours and hours to shine on the camera. Still got you powerless.